Hey guys, you will never guess who this deity is. I will tell you his name in a minute, but take a good look and tell me who this is. Yes, this is a Hindu god. A god? It looks like an evil demon, right? His face is terrifying with protruding teeth. Look at his mouth. It has a unique rhombus shape, unlike the human mouth. He is sitting in a cross-legged but almost squatting position. He seems to be wearing a fancy crown. But what is he holding in his hands? In one hand, he has a short conical object. In the other hand, he is holding a round object. If you are a Hindu, this must eerily remind you of an important god. And look at this feature. There are two long things coming out of his mouth. What is that? More importantly, who is this god? This is Lord Ganesha, yes, the famous elephant god of Hinduism. This might be shocking to you, but yes, Ganesha has evolved to look like this in Bali, Indonesia. Now you can understand what he's holding in one hand. This is a riding tool or a broken tusk. In the other hand, he's holding a dessert, his favorite snack. And he is usually shown in this cross-legged position. These two long things are actually his tusks portrayed in this fashion. And yes, Lord Ganesha usually wears a fancy crown or helmet. By the way, this is not a guess. I have double-checked it with the local Bali priest about this. And this is what he said.
What's on top?
Yeah, this is the god of Ganapati.
That's not Ganapati, is it?
Yeah, in here it's Ganapati.
Wow.
Ganapati.
And you may be confused or even be upset about this. And you can say this is a mistake. You may think like this statue is in Bali, Indonesia, which is 3,000 miles away from India. Those people did not know how to properly carve Lord Ganesha with an elephant's tusk. So they've carved him like this, right? But no, this is not a mistake. Lord Ganesha is literally evolving right in front of our eyes to look like this. But wait, can gods evolve over time? Think about it. Did God create humans? Or did humans create God? Or did humans evolve over time? But the real question is, can gods also evolve over time? And you can say, no, gods don't evolve. Praveen, how can you say this? Lord Ganesha has always been shown with an elephant's trunk, right? No. Let me show you the actual evidence of his evolution. This is a very ancient carving of Ganesha, but he does not have a trunk at all. How old is this? Archaeologists have conservatively estimated this to be about 2,100 years old. But in my opinion, this could be much older in time. It can even be 12,000 years old. This is found in an Indian museum, and experts agree that it could be a predecessor of Lord Ganesha. The word predecessor implies evolution or change. For example, scientists say Gomphothere was the predecessor of elephants. But if you look at the extinct Gomphothere, it does not have a long trunk. So the trunk evolved later in elephants. And you can see the same detail in carvings of this Hindu god. You can see that the predecessor of Ganesha is shown without a trunk, but the trunk is carved in much later forms. It's interesting, right? Because you can see a form of Ganesha with no trunk, and you can see Ganesha with a full, long, curved trunk. But is there a Ganesha in between where the trunk was growing in medium size? Yes. Look at this ancient statue. It has a trunk, but it is short and it is not curved like today's Ganesha. It is just long enough for us to understand that it is a trunk. Where is the statue found? In Colombia. Yes, this statue of Ganesha is found in South America, in the country of Colombia. Again, you can see his crown or helmet and his small eyes, typical of elephants. Now, the interesting question is, how did Ganesha get depicted in Colombia? How did Hindus travel all the way to South America? And some skeptics might say, this is not the Hindu god Ganesha. Native Colombians might have created their own elephant god thousands of years ago. But here is the problem. There are no elephants in Colombia or even all of South America. Elephants are found only in Africa and Asia. So there's no way for Colombians to have created their own elephant god. I was documenting this many years ago, and even local Colombians confirmed that this was the Hindu god Ganesha. Watch this.
Que él es un cilíndrico, ¿sí? ¿Qué?
Se cree que es la nariz
Nariz para elefanta.
para elefanta. Por eso se dice que es el dios elefante en la India.
En la India.
Inclusive esta misma figura ya tiene sus templos grandes y la gente va a adorarlos.
Sí, sí.
And this is another very interesting phenomenon frequently discussed with evolution. It's called adaptation. Change also happens due to environment or place. In other words, not only does time matter, but also the place. And this is what we see with Ganesha's depiction. He appears to be changing not only with time, but also with distance. For example, you can see elephants in Africa and elephants in Asia, but they have noticeable differences. African elephants have much bigger ears that look like the continent of Africa, but Asian elephants have small and round ears, and Asian elephants have two domes on their heads, while African elephants' heads are round. So yes, both are elephants, but they've changed according to their environments. But this adaptation is not only happening in biology, it's also happening in iconography. So Ganesha looks like this in India. In South America, he looks like this. And in Bali, he looks like this. This is proof that Hindu gods also evolve and adapt, very much like the rest of nature. And it may be of some interest to you that the change seems to be a cycle, not a linear change. A lot of times we think of evolution as a linear change, but in Hindu philosophy, we say it's a cycle. This is called the Yuga cycle. We have 4 yugas where everything gets better or worse, but then it starts over. First, we saw Ganesha with no trunk, then a short trunk, then a long trunk, and the latest Ganesha is again shown with no trunk, just like the beginning point. So, what do you think? Is Lord Ganesha evolving right in front of our eyes? Did Ganesha create human beings? Or did human beings create Ganesha? If so, how will Ganesha look 1,000 years from now? I am PraveenMohan. Thanks a lot for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. I'll talk to you soon.